Hi, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines, an ordinary life in the hills, and yet another in the saga of our road and trying to get the thing handled. Well, we were expecting to have a delivery, and they delayed the delivery. Didn't come on the time that we were expecting it, and then we got a heavy fall of rain. We seem to have been plagued by rain, and because of that, the road becomes impassable as per our little adventure on the edge of the road. And now we came back expecting that they would have made the delivery, but they had not. And then on our way back, we found one of the guys who was on the delivery, and he's come on a slightly different road, and they're waiting, and they're going to transfer. Not to my liking, but they're going to transfer our ballast and sand. I'm not quite sure whether it's ballast or sand. They're going to transfer it straight from their truck straight to ours. And we brought our Iron Man Manarado in, and I'm going to show you what's happening right now. So there we are. This is another side road to the road that we were using, which I'll take you and show you. The original road, such as it is, this is not the road that we made. This is the one that has been here for a long time, and this particular part is where the altitude changes. I've often said that it's like a lock system, where you go along level for quite a time, and then suddenly there'll be a hill, and you get a difficult little passage like this, which does get quite difficult, especially in the rain. Right, so we're looking there, and that's the hill that we have to negotiate. Doesn't look like much, and it's not a huge adventure. But anyway, Rado started to use this, and he did some clearing on making this a road. Now you'll have to forgive if I don't have the camera well centered and focused as you like, but the sun is extremely bright and I can't actually see. All I can see is a reflection of my own white shirt in the viewfinder, so we're just going on potluck. But there's the other truck. You can see that it's heeled over quite a lot. I really don't like the idea that they're transferring that sand straight into the back of our blue. But what can I do? It's one of those things that there isn't a lot of choice. So this way we will at least get our... you can see it's quite an angle there. We actually experience this quite a bit ourselves. Oh, I see.
Is there some shovel in there at Nanay? You saw some shovel there?
There's some shovels?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I have two shovels, but I don't own them anymore. They've been borrowed out. That Filipino word, borrow. So there's not really much that the guys can do to help. I thought that they would have a shovel with them, but they don't.
Yeah, we just try to bring one shovel on the way back.
Yeah, sure. Is that? Can you ask? Is that a dump truck?
Yeah, it's a dump truck.
It's a dump truck. Why don't they just dump there?
Dong, di na maana dong. Kanang matuwad-tuwad.
Madam, pero matumba. Tumba, takilid man.
It's okay, but then it's because the tire is in the lower. So if they move something, they're gonna fall down. You know, so
okay.
It's okay if it's normal label. They can do that.
Can they level it up? Can they get it level?
No, it's impossible.
No.
Lot, pagkuha nga to sa kapala kaw.
Dong koy mig pala dito mi.
Kaw.
Kay og magamay na rig.
Dito sa lang nanay ba tanawa nga to kaw.
Now we're looking at Balalut over there. He's on his bike.
Tanawa nga to, duha ka pala dalha.
Wait, kwando inyo kable. Wa may kable tanyo dai.
Kasi kable.
So what's happening there, honey?
Pabira rami gamay ba aron ma-level dumping diha.
What?
They asked if we can push them, we can give them a little,
Push them out?
yeah.
Well, only by our, not with the truck, I don't think.
Diri ra ba namulok kag ligid ato idam. Di man katong takilid man. Asa ka katong daw?
Because their other tire is below, and if we give them a little left.
They're in the same situation as the blue was in.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
I see. The bottom
We actually had this trouble ourselves coming home one night. We tried to come this way and were not able to do. Oh boy, that's a hell of a load of work for Rado to do, even for the Iron Man. So trying to give you an idea here. All of this grass, it looks as if it's really level, but the grass is actually pretty high, not to mention possibility of snakes. So you can see that the truck is way over. They're worried that if they need to get back out onto level ground. When we did it and we were coming home late at night, it had been raining, and this new road of Rado's, I don't know whether you can see it, but it has a camber off to the left. Once you start to get some heavy rain on that, then the tendency to slip off, and I don't know whether you could see that I was way down, and it drops off into, well, I'm only 3 feet from the edge of the road here, but I'm already in danger of being 6 feet in difference in the height of the road. I'd be off and down 6 feet. So one of the things that you have to understand, if you're in the West in your armchair, and when you go out onto a beautifully built road. At worst, you might go out onto what you call an unmade road, which will still be hard packed and certainly not like this. What you have to understand is this: this road has been traversed by people living in the hills. The hillside community have used this road for a long time. It has gone through, what you're looking at here is actually a palm plantation, and the road goes right through the palm plantation, and this is where it used to go. So while they're doing that boring job of transferring that load over to Big Blue, I'll walk up this road with you, walk you up the road, and show you what this road means as a road. So it's steep enough, it goes up and over, but it won't quite go down quite as much, and so gradually the elevation that you're at is changing, and it's increasing, and you can see over there in the distance, you can see that these are not mountains like the North Face, right? We're not climbing the Eiger or Everest, but we are high in the mountains. And look how the weather, I think that they've already been in and tried to get through here, as you can see. Now that road that Manorado made has become travelled when the weather is dry, but as I said, it becomes a big risk of sliding off to the right when it's really wet. Well, he hooked around and he avoided that rough part there. And he brought it off down here, and he made it come out here. Right, so it's a big enough diverted route that you can't actually see the other truck, I don't think. Maybe just a little bit of movement back there. But this is the road that Carabao people, Carabao, and the bamboo sleds, it's a very real part of life here in the hills. The Carabao and the bamboo sled have brought provisions up to people in the mountains for many, many years. Think about change, and think about the fact that when we came here, my mother-in-law had lived here for, I think it was 48 years, and did not have running water. When I first came, I used to walk down to the well, which was about a quarter of a mile, down a steep hill, and I would take my turn like everybody else, and I'd carry water back to the kitchen, which would be stored in a pot, and we'd do it again, all over again the next day. Well, this is the road that shows you of progress. It's slow. Look all around there. You can't see any roads. You can't see any houses. So the car, the truck, motorcycles are a relatively new mode of transport here, and they are fairly new, and that for sure is something that is bringing great change to the land, as we're seeing here. New roads, new threats, as with that truck that we have been watching is having its load transferred. Look at the truck there, you can see it there. Look at the angle of the windshield, shows you before we even get close up that's a concern for the driver. Now I'm looking at that looks like a fixed drop axle, a straight rigid axle, therefore that means that I think that it's not four-wheel drive or six-wheel drive as you've got there. So what they're hoping is that we'll be able to give them a pull. I'm not optimistic myself, but we're going to try, and we'll try and pull them so that they at least get onto the straight, where they avoid the danger that we had yesterday, and that was of slipping off to the side and doing what I call a roly-poly. And in answer to one of the comments that was made by one of our subs, yes, on that end there, as you're looking at the left hand side of the picture, you're looking at the truck on the left hand side, the right side of the truck actually, but the left as we look at it. That would not be, if the ground was really unstable and the truck was in a very unstable position, that would not be a place to be. What Manarado and Julio did was, the first thing that they did was they rushed up with supports, and they propped the supports under the edge of our drop leaf on Big Blue, and they anchored it down so that it wasn't going to move anymore. And then they pulled the bags of the bags of ballast stone off the back of the truck so that they could prop up the ground, and that's what they did. So now I'm being beckoned by an arm out the window, which is my dear wife. Yes, honey.
Let's go now.
Yes, what?
Let's go.
Let's go.